Today's video features a one-of-a-kind home. Many of you know this as the home with a private airstrip. These homeowners flew to visit us. We gave them a behind-the-scenes tour of our manufacturing facilities, our one-stop design center showroom, just as we would with any client. But these clients made it crystal clear to us they wanted everything in their home to be unique. While they were here, we designed a custom log profile for them, as you'll see on today's preview tour. We'll be touring this home in person in the future, so be sure to subscribe. You won't want to miss that. Today we'll get into the highlights. If you want to review these photos in the future, we have 3D tours as well as a terrific photo album on our website. This home is on a secluded piece of property with its own private grass runway. Everything from start to finish was custom designed with attention to detail. We've got an incredible outdoor living space area. The outside living space is an extension of the home. The width of the pool is custom designed to flow effortlessly into the covered porch overhang area, where we've got an incredible feature wall with double sliding patio doors with windows going all the way to the ceiling height. Each side of the covered porch has concrete piers with stone wrapping it, offering a magnificent aesthetic and tying into the hardscaping that we see around the rest of the property. Something that'll easily catch anyone's attention is the incorporation of mortise and tenon custom timber trusses. These are done in more of a craftsman style, and you'll see a continuation of that theme throughout the home. And right beyond that truss is another one located right beyond it. That way, when you are looking out from inside the home to the outer living space, it is as if the home continues all the way through. Another interesting design element with this home is the extended overhangs that we have at the top of each of the gables. We already have a very large overhang extending out 3 feet, but when you get to the top, there's an additional foot, offering another craftsman aesthetic, just like these craftsman style trusses. It's a continuation of these elements that make this home just a signature when it comes to our craftsman designs. The dormers were trimmed out with different materials, allowing for a great contrast to that space, really drawing your eye up. And what's great about their location is that they face toward the runway area, which allows you to still see the planes flying in. Oftentimes, a covered porch area like this is great for providing shade, but they do obstruct your view up in the sky, and that's part of what makes this property so special. Now let's head to the approach. As we come up to the house, we are greeted by this massive portico. What's special about this is you can pull your vehicle right underneath the portico and unload your luggage or unload your groceries. That is great planning. These are those dormers. I had been mentioning the dormers on the other side of the house. These are authentic gable dormers, bringing daylight into this additional living space above the garage. You may not have noticed, but this home has gutters, and they've utilized a rain chain to eliminate the need for an unsightly downspout. That is a great idea, and you won't even notice it until you get up close. Whereas many of the timber elements in this home are structural, in this case we've added timber purlins to create more of an accenting feature on each of these gable dormers. We oftentimes see very tall walls on our homes, which is why we like to suggest incorporating another design element in the gables. So whereas we have horizontal logs on the bottom half, the top we decided to go vertically with board on board. The soffit and fascia are built out of wood, and it's all stained with the same color. All of our high performance stains have many colors to choose from. You can pick any color scheme you'd like for your home. Each of these chase caps were custom made with the same finish as a standing seam metal roof. It's a great continuation of color, and it really draws your eye up from it being an ordinary chimney chase to something very special. Another great accent to this tall wall is the overhang that we have above the garage door. This is a service garage door, one that wouldn't be primarily used, but it's great for pulling out lawnmowers and all the yard toys. It's also great that as you pull up to the house, you don't see all the service panels right away. All the utilities, like the air conditioner and the generator, they're on the back side of the house. It also keeps it quieter, so when these units are running, you're not going to hear them as everyone's congregating in the front. As we continue around the home, you'll notice there is not a bad view on the exterior. Oftentimes on homes, it is easy for the garage to not look quite as sharp as the rest of the home. But here we are on the back side of the garage, and it looks magnificent. We've got great walkout space down here, easy to get outdoors, and we're bringing in a ton of natural daylight with these large doors as well as the windows that we have around the home. You may want to save this timestamp and come back in the future once you see the interior of the home, but this is a great overview of the layout of the space with the master suite on the left side. We are above the kitchen over here, and we have a garage suite over on the right with the garage below. There's even private entry to that garage suite, so your guests can come and go as they wish. And here we are working our way back to the pool side. This place is really special. You're gonna love the inside. The primary wall finish on this home is Golden Eagle's signature 12-inch double hewn. The homeowners love the idea of using that on their home because they toured many log and timber home companies and they never saw anything that came close to this. It is certainly a signature of Golden Eagle. We also have many different corner styles available, and you could even opt out of having a traditional log corner, but in this case, they had to have Golden Eagle's saddle notch corners. We see it right over here on each side of the home, as well as the other corners in the home. And look at that massive trim around the double doors, as well as the windows. That is essentially another feature wall on this house. You are not limited to just one wall, but really any space where you want to highlight the view or bring in a tremendous amount of light. These patio doors are massive. We're covering a span of 16 feet, and the center section opens up in opposite directions, which leaves us a large opening of 8 feet. Once those screens are closed, it allows for this space to essentially turn into a screen-covered porch area, allowing for great airflow on a crisp day. Before we exit the pool area, you'll see that we've got a nice splash pad area for the kids, as well as great seating, whether you're sitting around and having drinks or if you want to keep the kids close to you. And we've got a full height pool over here with a diving board. The tile that borders the pool complements the quarry stone that was applied to the rest of the home. When you're building a custom pool, you can do anything you want, which is why it's great that they have a shallow area for the kids to play, a bit of a splash pad, something that keeps them safe. We've got steps leading off of that, as well as our primary steps leading to the full depth area of the pool. We've even got seating over here. A lot of times with pools, the only seating that's available is on the apron that surrounds it on the perimeter. But in this case, you can bring everyone together, creating a hot tub effect. The entryway is magnificent as you enter the home. It gives you a sense of the detail that we'll see as we continue on this tour. The railing has a turnbuckle railing system, which you'll see continued into the custom dining room table. The open timber treads lead us to a space which overlooks the dining room and kitchen. That is always a favorite for anyone that comes to this home right away. It gives you a spectacular view of this overwhelming space. We don't see this too often, but there was a decision to tie in the color of the stringers with the color of the front door. It ties in perfectly and offers a great accent to this space. Light fixtures can greatly enhance a home's design aesthetic, and above us is a custom-built chandelier, and we see the continuation of that same theme in the great room area. With the 3 levels of this chandelier, it fills this massive volume in the great room area, and we are framed out with 3 custom mortise and tenon timber trusses on each side. And you can see the finish on each of those trusses is our signature hand-hewn finish. And we see that on the rafters below, which are above the kitchen. These rafters were used to frame in the kitchen space. It allows for light to pass through and offers more flexibility for your lighting fixtures below each of these rafters. The drywall is a supporting element in the home, allowing a space for your eye to rest. It reflects natural light onto these beautiful wood products. This kitchen is light and airy, and all the cabinets are finished with earth tone colors. We see a contrast of the island finish with what is over on the perimeter, although the same door and drawer style has been applied in both areas. All of these cabinets are inset, which means that the doors and drawers sit inside the frame rather than overlaying the frame. The custom beading that we see at each corner of the doors and drawers ties into the finish not only on the pulls, but also on the range hood as well. We also have a huge 48-inch wide Wolf cooktop. This thing is impressive with a pull-out spout for a pot filler. These refrigerator panels are just like the cabinets, except they have a hammered metal inlay. Even take a look at the pulls. matching the same exact poles that we see over here, but of course, they are oversized. We've got a great opening above the refrigerator, great for bringing in additional lighting, and it continues with the theme of stacked cabinets that we see around the home. You saw stools just like this in our lake cabin video tour. We'll put a link in the description below if you haven't seen it yet, but this home has a very special connection with Dan and Sandy Kempinen. And Dan and Sandy are dealers in northern Michigan, and they were involved with this project as well, and they built these bar stools. We'll be releasing a video featuring Dan and Sandy's story and their connection to this home in the future. So be sure to subscribe for that. Let's continue on. Making our way toward the dining room area, we have a custom built table which seats 18 people. The turnbuckle railing that we had seen in the entryway was also used on the chairs as well as below the table. This view allows us to appreciate the random width flooring and the reclaimed finish that we see on it. Of course, when you have reclaimed, you don't want it to look ordinary or manufactured, which is why it's special to have these random widths. Also, there is a great variety of colors, pulling in the dark colors that we see on the pantry door right over here, as well as the dark colors in the cabinets, and then the lighter colors that are on the timbers. The gable windows above us pour light into the space, and we have that balcony overlooking us once again. Let's jump up there for a second and see how the rest of the great room and dining room layout. As we jump up to the balcony, we see that the fireplace chase is centered within the feature wall, allowing perfect symmetry on both sides. This also allows for a very natural furniture placement within that room, which gives us great flexibility. The fireplace insert is trimmed out with a soldier course above it. And then above the soldier course is a custom mantle. This is very special as it is an old railroad tie. It's always great to use a mantle as an opportunity to accent the home, something very special. To the left of the screen, we have access into the covered screen porch, which feels like an extension of the home. Let's head over there. The modern lake home video tour featured folding patio doors just like this, and this leads us to the screen porch area. And I can tell you, I have never seen a screen porch like this before. This is incredible. It feels like an extension of the rest of the home. Those trusses that we see on the exterior by the pool area continue through to the interior as well. And take a look at this metalwork. This is all provided by Golden Eagle. We've got that same 12-inch double round hand-hewn finish that we see on the exterior of the home continue to the inside, once again simulating the full log aesthetic. We've got so much great natural light in here. With these patio doors being open and the screens closed, you get a lot of terrific airflow in here while keeping all the bugs out. This is where I'd want to spend all my time. You've got the fireplace and a TV in there. This is cozy. Now let's continue on with the rest of the tour. This place just keeps getting better. The variety of designs in this home is spectacular, from a change in the tile being used in each of these bathroom areas, as well as different cabinet finishes and styles. Here we have more of a furniture base to this cabinet, which allows for some recessed toe kick lighting. And that looks very finished. There's perfect spacing allowed for our massive timber baseboard trim. And all of this stuff is oversized in our home, so it's always important that we take into consideration how large each of these elements are, especially in bathroom spaces. As we get another view of this master bathroom, we can see that it connects in to the walk-in closet, which has cabinet organizers in there. What a great way to utilize that space. We've got beautiful doors throughout this home with vertical planking, 2 panels to it. Everything is square shaped. We see a very common theme in this home of that. Look at how the colors just tie in perfectly with the hand-hewn trim that we have around the window. The rustic wood species on the interior doors is perfect for this home. With the vertical V-groove planking also, it ties into that craftsman aesthetic. Well, let's continue on to more of the bathrooms. This connects over to the screen porch area. What a special setup in here. This is perfect because when you're coming in from the pool, someone can be rinsing off in the tile shower area. How gorgeous is that? And then over here, someone could be using the bathroom, washing their hands. It's a whole separate area. So both of these spaces can be used at the same time. Continuing on, there is even another shower on the other side. And although we have some similar sizing of tile over here, we do have different colors and a different tile pattern on the accent wall. The variety of finishes continue on. In this bathroom, we have one of the most popular colors in recent history, a very dark blue, tying into the blue theme that we see throughout this space. All of these bathrooms have different colors, different door styles. Everything is very designer-esque. You may notice a continuing theme of feature walls, accent walls, within each of the tile showers. They each have their own space where the tile makes a bold statement and then the rest of the shower area is more muted. Even the shower enclosures change as we go throughout each of these bathrooms. We have another gorgeous bathroom, and look what was done with this granite top. By increasing the cabinet depth from 21 inches on the sides to 24 inches in the center, it allowed for that top to have a more special contour, adding more interest. As we continue on, you'll see that we have a shower and a tub in here. It's important to always have a tub in the house, really special when you have the little ones visiting. Each of the tile shower areas have their own special shower configurations. This one not only has a hand wand, which is adjustable, and you could also use that as a grab bar, but there's even body jets in this shower as well. Although each of these bathrooms had different tile and color selections, they all connect into each other. And here are a few connections that I'm seeing. We've got a hammered copper vessel sink. Remember, we had hammered metal in the kitchen, so this ties in great with that. Take a look at that wall-mounted faucet. That looks great. And also the open cabinetry that we see in this vanity area is perfect for a guest bathroom. Let's make our way to a few of the bedrooms throughout this home. The master suite has a vaulted ceiling, which allowed for the use of more of those traditional trusses. And we've got great views looking out with casement windows on each side and then a picture unit in the center. This is great. There is no need to add additional decor to this wall when the view outside is the beauty. This home is set up for hosting with multiple bunk rooms, one for the boys, one for the girls. We've got Golden Eagle's hand-hewn timber materials going into making these bunks. These timbers were just the perfect element to use to not only bring everything together, but continue the theme of everything being custom built. Even take a look at that ladder. Now see the ceiling finish? That is a reclaimed whitewash. And that same ceiling finish, as well as the whitewash wall finish, they reflect a lot of natural light in this lower level space. And that continues with the whitewash over on the girls' bunk side. We've got some more beautiful bunks right over here. It just keeps going on and on. There are plenty of beds in this home. Now wait till we make our way above the garage. You've got to see this, but before we do, let's show you how you get there. When your visitors arrive, it's natural for them to park under the carport and bring their luggage to the front door. And then they've got direct access to the living area above the garage. Remember, this is where we had that nice overlook. What a great way to get a preview for the home you're about to enjoy for the weekend. And this continues up with more of that turnbuckle railing. And right outside the living area, we have a reading nook as well as a loft. Once the guests get settled in, they'll enjoy waiting out in the living room area. This private living room also has private access so they can come and go as they wish without disrupting anyone in the main areas of the house. We have a continuation of these great mortise and tenon trusses, a darker finish, which is perfect for the slightly darker ceiling finish that we have in here as well. And all of this great natural light. Now let me show you what else there is up in this space. It just keeps getting better. This is pretty cool. We have a full kitchen area. There is plenty of bar seating. Got a large refrigerator, great for stocking up on groceries. With vaulted ceilings in here and plenty of natural light, it really feels like a continuation of the rest of the space, and it keeps getting more fun. Take a look at this special ladder. You got to see what's up here. This is fun and a great way to use the volume of this space. Creates a nice extra area, whether the kids are playing or just for fun sleepovers at Grandma and Grandpa's house. Heading back down, we've got open shelving highlighted here and also glass in the cabinet doors. This makes perfect sense for anyone who's using a kitchen as a guest space because they don't know where everything was stored away. So you can look in there and you can see that the glassware is in there. That is perfect. They don't need to open up all the cabinet doors to find what they need. I also always like seeing under cabinet lighting being used. Not only is it great ambient light, but terrific task lighting as well. These are made to look like barn doors, but instead they're on a track. Keeping them on a track allows for them not to open up into the hallway area, which makes it a lot quicker and easier to access things without creating too much congestion. The main bedroom up in this space has terrific views of the rolling hills, beautiful ceiling finish continued through a nice pop of color, and high ceilings. We also have a lot of volume in this space with the gable on this side as well. When you do this much hosting, it's important to have a large pantry. Let's see what's behind this custom door with that beautiful glass. This pantry features inset cabinets like what we saw in the kitchen, but this is a rustic hickory wood species in a natural finish. We've got a change in the drawer style with slab drawer fronts over here, a 5-piece drawer, different hardware, and what's important in a pantry area is flexibility of storage, which is why open shelving makes great sense, as well as these open shelving pullouts. That same rustic hickory selection continues in the laundry area. What's special over here is that the washer and dryer are elevated about 8 inches. That allows for it to be easier on the back, but still a short enough height where we can reasonably run a countertop across the top of it. Many of our homeowners like having a countertop over the washer and dryer for extra folding space. Now take a look at the other side of the room. We've got an apron sink with a fire clay finish that is durable. It will last forever, which is important to consider with a utility sink. Also, it's important to keep in mind that it's nice to have an extra wide bowl and extra depth, this being about 8.5 inches deep. And look at the specialty faucet on this. This is fun. The faucet is a bit eclectic, which is perfect for a laundry space. As we come downstairs to the finished lower level, we've got tile planking, which in my opinion is the perfect selection. We've got in-floor radiant heat. We've got another full-size kitchen. And look over here, we have special booth seating. All of this is custom made, perfect finishes on here. This is great for overflow seating when you're hosting a party. And take a look at this. There's gonna be a lot of time spent over here in the sunken theater area. The projector will allow for perfect viewing, whether watching the big game or a great movie. Now these are some comfy chairs. What's great about them too is that they're electronic, which means we can adjust the footrest and the backrest however we wish. There's even different finishes on here. Now let's remember, we've got a pool outside. The kids may be coming in from the pool and they wanna sit in these chairs. This is a water resistant material over here, which is great for keeping this stuff looking good all the time, even if kids sit on there with wet swimming trunks. Now take a look at this theater. This is amazing with this drop down screen, perfect for a big projector like this. With a projector in a room where you get all this natural light, it's important that it puts off enough lumens so you can get crystal clear picture quality, which this does. And then when the projector is not being used, it can store up in a way you don't even know that it exists up there and you've got a regular television. It's important to consider multiple elements in a theater area. You'd want to turn off all of the overhead lighting and have wall sconces set on a low dimmer. Also, it's nice to consider the pathway lighting so everyone can safely get from one place to the next. Take a look at the custom built-ins underneath the stair. This is a perfect way to utilize that space and it is perfect for board games. We're about to head outside to see how this home looks in the evening. But before we do, let's stop at the garage. This is incredible. We've got epoxy flake flooring, radiant in-floor heat. We've got floor drains following the length of the garage. That takes all of the snow melt toward the front of the garage. That way you don't walk through it when getting into the main area of the house. We also have custom built cabinetry. These garage doors are super insulated and they are extra tall to allow for tall vehicles. Now there is one more thing I want to show you. Take a look over here. In this corner, we have a dog wash area. At first glance, you may recognize that we had something very similar to this wall finish in our log home construction build series. This is a vertical corrugated steel applied in a wainscoting fashion with our hand-hewn material above it. That hand-hewn material is what's allowing for this faucet to be mounted into it. That faucet is removable. So this extra long hose allows for easy washing of the family dog, or it's even a great opportunity to clean off with those muddy boots. This home is picturesque in the evening time with all the great outdoor lighting. Now, I look forward to being here in person for a full-length behind-the-scenes tour. We look forward to being out there on site soon.